How crushed are those guys?
Crushed.
Like how bad?
Like sending me money, flowers, crushed.
Yeah, traumatized?
Traumatized.
Absolutely traumatized?
Absolutely.
Look how sweet she looks, right? And she's laughing at them now. So just go. Did you ever have it where you were chasing him the whole time and finally you put your foot down, you're like, you know what? I'm good. And then when you pulled back, he chased so hard and you're like, are you meaning to tell me that for the past 2 years when I chased you, you would have actually been chasing me the whole time? And then it kind of kills it for you watching how pathetic he is.
That's true, yeah. You can't chase, because then it's like a predator-prey dynamic. You can't do that.
Yeah, and then did you ever go back to that guy when he begged?
No.
How pathetic did he look?
Just you don't want to go back with something in the past. It's in the past for a reason.
Yeah. It's like he's so pathetic that she doesn't even want to call him pathetic. It's like, that's the past, and we're moving forward, right? So that's very nice of you. Definitely for men, women are there to teach you the most incredible skills. Now, the way they teach it to you is very brutal. It's brutal, man. You know, starting from like rejections to just going home sad, to feeling confused, to breakups. Like, I truly believe that women, on a core level in a relationship, as soon as you put them before God, will viciously say, no, you want to put the physical creation before your creator? Watch what happens to God's creation. Goodbye. And on the way up, yeah, look at it on my stories, right? It's like you're gonna pay, bro. You are gonna pay, okay? Like any time that you put that your mission for God, you put that aside for a woman, man, you're gonna get punished. So, you know, anytime that you lose frame, my good God, you're gonna get punished, right? So women are a microcosm for the universe. They're there to teach you, but it's a cruel tutelage, man. Whew, it is a cruel tutelage. I mean, imagine having like a woman who's just gently with you, so sweet to you, loves you to death, becomes your best friend, your peace, your love, you're in love with her, you do anything, and then you lose frame like one time, and it's like, die, fucker, die. Okay, right? Like, why? It's like, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you are fucking bad because I've already flipped you. Okay, this is just me doing comedy, by the way. This doesn't really happen. So, comedy. Okay, comedy. So what I'm saying though, yeah, I'm literally seeing the women in here that are kind of like that because they know that basically. Because they know that if a guy loses frame, they have something called an RAS flip, which I've talked about in other videos, reticular activation system flip. They saw your good sides before, they pedestalize you. Now they go to your bad sides, and then they're out of there, right? And then, to be honest with you, if you want to think how fucked up it is, why do men have a penis shaped like a mushroom? Why do we have that? What's the reason men's dicks are shaped like a mushroom?
Scoop out the plunge. Yeah.
It's because it's meant to plunge out other men's cum. What percentage of your cum, look, don't take this shit from me, it's in the book Sperm Wars, it's proven, okay? How much percentage of your cum do you think is actually to impregnate a woman, and how much is to kill other men's cum? What's the percentage?
99%.
99% of your cum is meant to kill other men's cum, a sperm, and then your dick shaped like a plunger to plunge it out, right? What happens the second you lose frame in your relationship? They're like, wait, but it's still in there. Get it out. Get it out. Someone get it out. And that someone is one of their Instagram social media fans, a follower that they were simply engaging with, right? I was just engaging with my followers, right? Well, luckily a follower is there to help to plunge out whatever you have there rapidly, okay? Why? Because you lost frame. But the lesson is this, right? If you lost frame, you're also another one of those morons that believed in 2020, which means that you're basically on the verge of being weeded out. So really what they're testing for is, do you have frame? And this is what you'll learn. What is real strength for a man? It's not just money or muscles. It is frame. I'm telling you. Because frame is also your ability to lead a group, to be a leader. So if you have strong frame, you have the muscles and the money of 1,000 other people. Because you have frame. That is why we're social beings. So your real strength, money and muscle, is a part of it, but it's also frame. And they're not talking about this. And they're not talking about it because most teachers don't know how to teach it. They're also unaware of it. And also, it's just a little bit outside the Overton window right now. But someday, we will know what frame is. And it will become commonly known. And you're going to get it. Yep, loud.
What do you mean by losing frame?
So we're doing a training tonight. Guys, what kind of training are we doing? What kind of training? We're doing infield training. So infield training is where during the day, I don't give a speech. What I do instead is I give personal feedback. We do exercises, and then we come out for a field trip, and we work on our social skills. What did you guys learn tonight? What would you say that you learned tonight?
How to be the fucking man and realize that you are the man.
Awesome. What'd you learn tonight?
How to be the man and how to always talk.
Amazing. What'd you learn tonight?
How to love hanging out with other people.
Amazing. What'd you learn tonight?
Life-changing skills that will change my life!
Amazing, bro. What'd you learn tonight, bro?
How to love myself and not be afraid of what people think.
Awesome. What'd you learn tonight, brother?
How to be happy and confident.
Amazing. What'd you learn, my man?
Choose your coaches wisely.
Thank you. What'd you learn, my man?
Get out of your comfort zone.
Good stuff. What'd you learn, brother?
Pushing your boundaries and having fun doing so.
Incredible. What'd you learn, brother?
Love everybody, no matter what.
Amazing. And we got Ross Creation. What'd you learn, brother?
Stay happy, no matter fucking what.
Amazing, bro. Thank you, man.
I'm the shit.
Bro, thank you, man. So, guys, basically what we did here, what I'm explaining is, if you'd like to come out on a training where you actually come out and learn in the real world, how do you guys find getting real world interactions and getting feedback in real time? How was that? Awesome. Like, how life-changing was it to actually go out in real life and have real-time feedback? How life-changing?
Fuck yeah!
Awesome. So that's what it's about. And also in the daytime, we're not just hammering just more speeches, we're doing exercises and giving you feedback. How do you find that feedback that we're giving you guys in the daytime? Yeah, so it's feedback driven, it's real life driven, it's incredible. If you want to be a part of something like this, the chance of me teaching this in my older age is low. I'd recommend that you do it right now. Click the link below. You'll go to a website that breaks down the entire training. I'm excited to see all the training. You guys recommend they come to training? Yeah! Amazing. Click that link. We'll see you in person. We're going to go out. We're going to get you feedback. We're going to change your life. Would you guys say that you'll make back your money off of trading like this? Yeah! Like what kind of ROI multiple you think you'd get back off of trading like this? Yeah, why? Because you learn to change your communication, you change your confidence, you change your social skills. You want to be part of it, you click the link. Do it now while it's hot on your mind. And back to the video. Well, my brother, at some point in a relationship, you fall in love, you know, the girl's making you feel really good, and maybe you don't put your mission to God first. Maybe, God forbid, you put those titties first. And it's kind of a human thing to do, and especially when she's your best friend. But then at a certain point, they sense it, and the RS slip occurs, and it's just what happens. So you've always got to have frame. That's why, by the way, if you look at modern day marriage, why it's in so much trouble, modern day marriage is really dangerous because I believe in marriage. I believe in monogamy in marriage. Why? You wouldn't think I believe in it. I believe in the old version of it. Why? Not the current. Why? Because you had both parents raising the kids. It reduced the transmission of STDs, and it also meant that every single man in the country had a stake in the defense of that country. Go look at the old videos of World War II on different World War II documentaries, watching all these young men volunteering happily to go defend their country. How many guys in this room would go die right now for your country? Yeah, I got 3 people, and I could talk you out of it in about 2 minutes. And it's because you'd be dying for an ideal that no longer exists, my brother. It's not here. Like it has to be collaborative. We all have to be in it together. But if it's just you left and no one else cares, you're like, I'll defend you, and then everyone just runs, and it's just you. That's not fair, bro. But hey, maybe you do it anyway. You know what? You lose your life over it, and for a bunch of people that wouldn't do it for you. So we need to have a collective togetherness on this, and we just don't have it right now because young men don't have a stake in modern society anymore. They just don't. Now the problem is back in the day, if you look at frame, okay. So you have to understand, women respond to frame. Well, if back in the day, no one man can hold frame for 50 years. That's not even a thing. At some point, you're going to lose frame. Why is that? You got sick, your business went down. Maybe you fell a little too in love with your girl. You know, at some point, you're gonna lose frame, right? You had a bad day, you're gonna lose frame. Now, back in the day, you had the church helping to hold frame for you because they promised not to cheat in front of God. You had the community that was saying, hey, don't cheat, don't leave your man, don't leave the kids with only one parent, et cetera, et cetera. So you had the community involved, the families involved, the church involved, society involved. Now, I'm not saying that we need to go back to slut shaming at all. I'm not trying to regress to that. But if you take out slut shaming, so now it's not bad if they go have sex with new guys. You take out any stigma around a divorce. So you get rewarded if you get divorced. You get high-fived if you go fuck a new dude. And then you take it to where 65% of new jobs go to women, 65% of colleges go to women, and women also want to be with the top guy, and women enjoy their freedom. Women will say, oh, I enjoy being single. Does single mean celibate? When a woman says single, does that mean celibate? No. What does single mean? It means she's in 89% of cases, she's having sex with a guy way more attractive than you, and possibly 2 or 3 of them. Women these days on Instagram brag about having a roster, the way men would. They brag about their roster. Like, I've got a roster. Like, they don't want to be in a relationship. Why would they go, if a girl is average, why would she just get one other average guy who probably even makes less money than her when she could have a roster of absolute studs? Now, as a man, you don't want to share your territorial because if another man's having sex with a girl, you don't know who the father is. But she always knows who the mother is, right? Like, how many guys in here want to have, like, you know, a devil's threesome with a girl and, like, rub each other's cum all over your body? But most women that I know have had a threesome at some point, and, you know, if the guy's having sex with her, the other girl's gonna give a blowjob and lick the other girl's pussy juice off his dick. That's not a big deal. Like, that's very, very, very common, especially the more attractive the girl, because the more attractive the woman, the more likely she's had sex with a top-notch guy who that's the only way he's gonna have sex. So the more attractive the woman, the more likely she is to have threesomes and orgies and stuff like that. Most girls that are really attractive have had an orgy. It's not a big deal. Likewise, they don't mind sharing. They'd rather have that guy just themselves, but they don't mind sharing because they've got a job, they're getting the most attractive guy. So as a result of that, a relationship is very, very, very tough because Instagram is mocking relationships. The family's telling them to get rid of you. The friends are saying to get rid of you. You at some point lose frame. Organic attraction shatters at some point over a 50-year period. Church isn't there to protect you. Nothing's there to protect you anymore. So the only actual way that you're likely to maintain frame over 50 years is if you're dating multiple people. But isn't it funny how when you're dating multiple people, you maintain frame effortlessly? How many of you in this room have had it where you're dating 5 or 6 people, effortlessly maintaining frame, you're not even thinking about it, it's stress-free. And then you find that girl who you're so in love with, and you love her so much. And so you're seeing your other women, but you love this girl so much that you feel like you're wasting your time with the other women. And you just want to be with her. Maybe you want to stop using condoms. And you say, you know what, I want to pursue a relationship with this woman. Maybe you want to have children together. So you start to pursue a relationship with this woman. And rapidly, you watch that behavior go from sticky sweet, super nice, very pleasant, always placating you, to complaining, whining, angry, criticizing, emasculating. Why does that happen? Because if a woman can detect that you're losing frame, what do they begin doing? What do they begin doing when you start losing frame? Do they help you? What do they do?
RS flip.
They have an RS flip, but what do they do leading up to the final discard? Up until the final discard, what do they do if they believe that you are losing frame? Come on.
Find backups.
They find a lot of backups. They begin to shit test profusely. You'll know that you're losing frame because what happens is that she starts emasculating you, making mean comments, being rude, fucking with your frame because she's trying to tell, is this guy actually weak? Because you're making her feel that you're weak, so she's testing it. That never would have happened or would have been much less likely to happen when you're dating multiple people. So I believe in the old school version of marriage, one man, one woman, but in order to maintain frame, you need society as a collective effort to hold frame. Without a society-wide holding of frame, the chances of you holding frame for 50 years without a single lapse in frame is so incredibly low. And what will happen is people will watch this video and they're gonna say, oh, this guy's paranoid. You know, I would never lose my wife if I lost frame for 2 seconds. First of all, there's so much infidelity. Many of those guys don't know they're being cheated on. They don't know. Bump into some of my friends when you're out, see what happens. So they don't even know that of what's happening. They're completely gullible and naive to that fact. They're like, this would never happen to me. Meanwhile, they don't even realize what's happening to them. They don't even know. But second of all, you track that relationship for 5 or 10 years, watch what happens, okay? Now, by the way, as a side point, there are some girls that are still out there that are under the Christian conditioning. So you'll see some girls like, I love Jesus, I want to get married. Some girls will say virgins, some will just sleep with the minimal amount of guys, that's fine. If they're under that kind of framing and conditioning, those women are potentially able to have a long-term partner, okay, not to cheat. But here's the other thing. Those women are in such high demand at this point. They're so hard to get a hold of. They're so high value and in demand that the chances of you netting one is lower and lower by the day because the inflation on them is so high. Most of you guys here would cut your arm off for a Christian woman. You'd cut your freaking arm off because you know that you could have stable kids. You know that you could actually raise your own children and have 4 or 5 children with her, or even 1 or 2, and she's not going to leave you. Question?
Yeah. What if I already became the man?
I can't hear you, brother.
Oh, what if I already became the man that can get any woman, and within all the women that I could get, I chose one.
Yeah, so let me explain it to you.
Yeah,
So let me explain to you. Yeah. So you go in there elevated, right? Because you have a lot of options. So now you're dating 5 people, 10 people. You go out and you're crushing it every time that you go out, right? That's bolstering your frame because you have external feedback that's bolstering your frame. As soon as you go into a committed relationship, what's happening now is all that bolstering that you have, give me a sec, all that bolstering that you have is now going to just one woman. Now, if she's nice to you, she's gonna make you feel more confident than ever. Women have the power to do that, but if at some point that woman decides to retract it, what happens is, this is what happens to most guys, okay? You're single, so you got all these guy friends, right? You got all these cool guy friends. You play sports, you have hobbies, you're doing all this cool stuff, you're dating multiple people, you're going to clubs, you're having fun, you're doing parties, you're super popular, everybody loves you, et cetera, right? So now you go into your relationship, okay? Well, most guys are probably not gonna keep doing parties. Most guys are also probably gonna hang out with their guy friends a little bit less. Doesn't mean you will, but that's most guys. So what happens is all those external sources of validation, they get pulled, okay? So then what happens is that then you start to naturally go to the well of your wife or girlfriend's validation. It's human to do that. And it feels beautiful when you do that, okay? So what happens, it feels very beautiful. And it actually builds an incredible bond with you and your wife or you and your girlfriend when you stop going to all these other sources for your validation, your nourishment, and you go to her. So it builds a beautiful vulnerability. It's actually very beautiful. It's incredible. And in a Christian system, you could do that because society would help hold frame for you. So you could really just give and invest into your girl. It's a beautiful thing. But now that you have no external support for the frame, here's what's gonna happen. If I could literally bring in tomorrow a presentation of what's on Instagram. I could bring that in. Would you guys want me to do a presentation tomorrow of what's on Instagram, what they're looking at? It will shock you. I showed my buddy, I sent him about a couple hundred memes, and literally he's like, my 74-year-old mother liked half these. It's insane, okay? It's insane what they're looking at. It's disgusting, it is sickening, it is dark, it is nasty, bad stuff. And that's mostly what they're seeing. So they're literally looking at Instagram like 5 hours a day, being brainwashed on that. Their friends, they see her with you, looking so happy. The friends want you gone so that she can be back in Carrie Bradshaw mode with her back in the fucking streets. If you fail to engage the parents and the brother properly, which most guys get lazy, they forget to do that, you never respected them enough, and as a result, they don't have your back. And then basically you have all these other orbiters. Right now, by the way, you can't tell your girlfriend not to talk to guys. You know why? Because if your girlfriend's super hot, she's gonna have social media, right? Inevitably, okay? They're all on social media. At some point, guys are going to engage them because it's their fans. So they're gonna have all these different fans. And some of those fans are gonna be attractive. If you tell her you can't do any DMs on Instagram at all, what's gonna happen? You're just making the forbidden fruit. But then if you leave it, they have backups. So you have to understand they have backups, they have backups, they have Instagram telling them to leave you, a whole narrative. Look, I'll make a video presentation this tomorrow. If I have time, I'll do it. If not, I'll do it in a future video. I'll try to do it tomorrow. You will be shocked when you see the kind of conditioning there. So society's not holding frame for you anymore as far as relationships goes. It's just not holding it, right? So you're going to lose frame at some point. It's going to happen. And remember that without society helping to hold together your relationship, the only thing that holds together your relationship is what?
Being attractive.
Being attractive. Say the word organic attraction.
Organic attraction.
Yeah, so by the way, all these fucking morons that are telling you just get rich and then you can get married, you're literally you're gonna draw in a gold digger, you're not gonna know how to hold frame, and then you're gonna get fucking cleaned out, which is like many of my multi-millionaire one-on-one clients that get cleaned out, taking the cleaners for tens of millions of dollars, dragged into court and put through hell. What's meant to happen, the way it should go, is that you learn how to be successful at socializing, and then you have about 10 or 20 fractured relationships. And these relationships will blow your mind. Like, you'll have someone who's your best friend, your soulmate, they will bounce when you lose frame, and you won't have seen it coming. Like, you'll hear this kind of video when you're in a happy relationship, and you're gonna go, what's his problem? Like, what is this guy's problem? Like, why is he acting like that? My girlfriend would never do that. And then wait until you lose frame for 1 millisecond, and then you come back to this video and you say, this could have never happened to me. Look, if you're someone at home watching this, and this happened to you, write in the comments, I never thought it could happen to me. Write that out and watch how many people it happened to. It's crazy common, okay? You can make a whole business off it, become a millionaire off it, which I did.
Also, thank you for speaking the truth and giving us our power back to have our sovereignty, because this is the truth.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, because it's a pretty thankless job, to be honest. I don't like talking about this. Look, a lot of people know this. They don't want to talk about it because they don't want to look like they're negative. It's not about being negative. Actually, I'm very positive. But what I believe is that if you have the facts on your side, then you can be fine. If you don't have the facts on your side, you can't believe it. But I can tell you, I can't tell you how many relationships I've had where you're best friends for several years. And then, you know, in my case, I run a very, very challenging business. The business wears me down a little bit. I start to lose confidence. They're out the door. Now, by the way, it's not about the money. I've never been left for someone who has more money than me. It's never about the money. It's about how the money affects you. That is the larger issue. So, yeah, so do you guys see that? Yeah. It was never about the money. I never got left for a guy with more money than me. I've never had a girl leave me, you know, and then the guy has more money than I have. That's never happened. Why do they leave if you're having a business problem? Is it the zeros in a bank account? No, it's not at all, by the way. It's how it affected your frame. You start to lose your confidence, right? Now, okay, so in theory, you could become so utterly confident that you need no sources of external validation at all. Then you never lose frame. It's a great ideal. I think I'm 70, 80% of the way there. Like, I do a lot of meditation, spiritual purpose, all that kind of stuff. I think you'd be lucky to get to 70, 80%. But to get to 100%, no need for validation ever, you'd have to be the fucking Buddha. Okay, when you got there, you would just dissolve in the next dimension. So you're still a human being who has needs, who wants love, and so on and so forth. So the idea that you're going to somehow transcend this dynamic entirely is not realistic. It's just not. Again, as a guy who's practiced meditation for decades, very passionate about my life, tons of friends, tons of hobbies, avid reader, super avid outdoorsman, family, friends, public speaking, all these things, and I'm at maybe 70, 80%. Okay, most of y'all are at like 2%, okay? 70, 80% is like a heavy hitter elephant motherfucker. So that, you know, and still like, yeah, it's normal that you enjoy some degree of external validation, okay? Unless you're a psychopath or something. So that's what generally tends to happen with frame, okay? So you have to understand that's what it is. Now, what I want to show you, and this is always a really interesting exercise, is I want to show you what frame actually is and what it looks like. And I want to show you how to bolster it. And I want to show you what's going on. And when you see this, you can't unsee it, okay? When you see it, you can't unsee it. Now, by the way, what is the single best way to build frame in the world? What do you think?
Go out.
Go out and socialize. I'm telling you, there's no better way that I've ever seen than going out and socializing to build frame. There's no other way. Because in effect, when you go out and socialize, this is what's actually happening, okay? You're going up and talking to somebody, and if you have frame, they're attracted. And when you don't have frame, they're not attracted. Ta-da! So you immediately see if you have frame or not, right? You immediately see it. So you're getting real-time feedback about whether or not you have frame. You're getting it in real time. It's amazing, okay? So now, let's say, I'll show you some examples just what this looks like, okay? So I'll kind of present it in like a subtle way, and then we'll kind of build on top of it, okay? So I'm gonna do, I used to teach this more like heavy-handed. I try to do it now ultra subtle because I feel like a lot of these things are in the subtlety. It's not in like because I can be like, hey, shut up, and like start acting like that. But I want to do it in a subtle way, a chill, passive way. Okay, so I'll have you stand up here. I'll just show simple examples of it. Okay, so grab this and then hold this and then just stand like right here. Okay. Okay. So now, by the way, this is the fucking annoying feedback I always get on these things. They always go, well, you're the seminar leader, and you know, of course you can do it because you're a seminar leader. Yes, in this environment, I am being bolstered because I'm a seminar leader. That's true. Have you ever seen videos of me out in public back in the day where I was not a seminar leader? Has any person in the world posted more? So you've all seen me doing this when I'm not a seminar leader, okay? All right, so what's your name, man?
Amar.
It's good to meet you, my brother.
Nice meeting you.
Amar?
Yeah. What's up?
Omar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm confused. What to say?
Of course you're confused.
Yeah.
Okay, have a seat, okay? Okay, thank you. Okay,
Yep.
give me a hand, okay. Okay, so what are some things you're observing? Here, pop up here. Pop up the front. This guy's got some swag, I can feel it. He's got some swag, okay? Okay, what's your name, bro?
Gio.
Gio, good to meet you, man.
Oh, nice to meet you, Owen.
What's on your mind?
Actually wanted some water and I didn't ask for it.
What held you back?
I didn't want to disrupt the seminar.
Thank you. I saw you lick your lips there a bit, by the way.
Okay.
What are you thinking about? Gio, you're very quiet. What's that look? What's that little look you're doing, Gio?
I know what you're doing.
Okay. What are your hobbies?
Oh, I like football, tracks.
That's very cute. Okay, so do you guys see what I'm doing there? Okay, awesome. Give me a hand. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so I'll just show. Okay, I'm going subtle. Okay. I'll bring you up as well. Okay. So just grab this.
Gotcha.
Okay, you're gonna stand here. Okay, so tell us your name.
My name's Jack. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, Jack.
I like the shirt.
Thanks, Jack. Yeah.
I think my grandma has this one.
Your grandma should be here, brother.
Yeah. She's doing well.
Okay. She's doing well.
She's doing great.
Okay.
You would like it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What makes you think that?
I can introduce you guys.
Yeah? We're gonna fuck? What are we gonna do? You wanna
If you
fuck your
can't,
grandma?
She's a pretty, I don't know, she's a pretty unresponsive woman.
Okay. All right. He's gonna change my ways. He's gonna make an honest man out of me. Well, thank you. Thank you, bro.
Anytime.
Okay. So, you're licking your lips a lot there, buddy.
I like what I see.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. I like what I see too.
Thank you, man.
Okay.
Hitting the gym, working out.
Yeah. Okay. So can you guys see the subtlety in the frame there or no? Yeah. Okay. All right. Have a seat. Okay. Thank you, bro. Okay. So I'm showing it to you subtle. Okay. I'm showing it to you subtle. So what are some subtle here? Why don't you pop up here for me? Come on up. But this is happening in your relationship all the time. Okay. This is the dynamic in your relationships. This is a dynamic in sales and marketing. Okay. So here, grab this. You can start the conversation. Put this up right here. Okay.
Hi, I am Armando.
Armando.
Nice to meet you. I wrote you a DM.
Thank you.
Saying thank you, though.
Thank you. How are you feeling?
Very good.
Good, man. That's good. Are you in your head right now?
I'm in my chest.
Okay. He's in his chest. He got them titties. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Okay, so we're going very subtle here. Okay. So, what are some observations that you guys have about the frame? So rather than me like yelling at anybody or being heavy-handed, because that's not what a relationship is like, right? Relationships in a basic level conversation. So what are you observing in those? What are some tells of who has frame?
The faces that you were making to the other person kind of like, I don't know, it just gave me the vibe of like a buyer-seller dynamic.
Yeah.
Kind of being established.
Yeah, the buyer-seller dynamic. What else?
I can clearly tell you are not competing. You don't mind losing.
Yeah, that's a big, what he just said there, I'm not competing. You ever see the video I created called When You Stop Competing, You Win? Yeah, keep going.
They're trying to win. They're trying to beat you.
That's what it is. They're trying to win. But I'm not. That's big. What else? Yep.
Your silence creates discomfort.
Say it louder.
Your silence creates discomfort in their system.
Yes. Yeah, my silence causes their system to go haywire. What else? Yep.
Reception projection.
I know what that means, but it sounds cool.
You project yourself and they receive it, or either you receive it and they project to you.
Okay, I like it.
Something like that?
It just sounded cool, but I don't know what it meant. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I think you're far more comfortable sitting in the tension.
Yeah, that's massive. Yeah, great. These are great answers, man. I'm glad I asked this. These are great answers. Yeah.
It kind of seems like you're...
Louder, please. Everyone, please be louder.
It kind of seems like you're mirroring their energy a little bit. So like you're kind of matching how they're coming across.
Yeah, what I would say is that they're more likely to do that to me, but I'm doing that to toy with them a little bit. Yeah.
Like,
what else?
I do sales and I do the same shit. Like,
Okay. By the way, so they teach you in sales that you should mirror your prospect. Yeah. I actually believe that is a flawed pair. I don't mean to mess with your head here, but I was, because we would learn mirroring. Back in the old school days of community, they would teach us mirroring. It was actually one of the OG ideas. And later, some of the real OGs that came in and said, that's bullshit. Stop mirroring. Lead the frame till they mirror you. That, by the way, that's massive, what I just said right there. That was a massive takeaway. The idea of you lead the frame so that they mirror you. Yep. Say it loud. I need it loud, guys, for the mic to catch it. Come on, man. I don't care about your English. I care about your volume.
I think your state and your vibe so big and so deep. Your partner go into like in ocean in your state. And
Man, this is great. I should do these seminars all the time. This is very validating. Yep. Yeah, go ahead.
You came in with a collaborative frame off the bat.
Yeah, so you might have seen the video I did called When You Stop Competing, You Win. So everyone will say, how could I maintain frame all the time? I'm like, stop trying to maintain frame, which I'll get into later in the speech. Yeah, what else?
You're also just having fun.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, who's just having fun versus who's trying to hold frame.
Regardless of what happens, you can reframe it later on. So even if you lose in the moment, you're gonna say something later that's gonna like paint it in a bad way.
Yeah, so I'm so indifferent that even if I was becoming reactive, I could just play with it. And that's what comedians do. Like, I could give a bad joke, and then I could say, you know, I thought that was at least a 6 out of 10 joke, guys. And then everybody will start laughing even if it's a bad joke. So that's kind of knowing on cruise control what you can do. Yeah, other observations?
Yeah, I think that...
Loud.
I think that your threshold of the tension is the distinguishing factor, and it's because you're having fun, you're indifferent, and you're not competing.
Yeah, threshold, I'm going to say it back. Threshold of tension is higher because I'm indifferent and having fun, is what he said, if you couldn't hear. Yep, thank you.
There's something in your vibe and your feeling that allows you to hold it. I don't know exactly what it is, but I can see it. But it's more grounded through you, and like you just are able to stay in it. And
Yep.
I don't know exactly what you're doing.
I think you have a lot of it too, though. Like, I mean, your experience, and you have it too. Like, I can see it in you. I think if I did that with you there, I think we'd be about the same. Like, I think you also have it.
The holding the tension in the silence, so whenever I have the frame, I can just be quiet and just stay there.
Yeah, but look, if I come to you now, okay, let's see. Good to meet you.
Hi.
Now he's losing frame. Like, man, I thought you had this. Like, I really thought you did.
It's not that. It's just good to be up close to you, brother.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Kay, what's your thing?
I figured out.
Yeah.
You are the Buddha. That's what it is.
I'm the Buddha, yeah. I should do these seminars more often. Okay. Yeah, see? That's the 30% external validation I'm getting right now. What's that?
My best friend from Chile.
Yeah.
He has seen all your videos, 4 hour long, and he says that you're the Buddha.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Now just see me when I've like had a bad night of sleep and a bad sales day. We'll see how long I'm the Buddha there. But the point is like, yeah. Any other ideas? Yep.
Yeah, when I was standing there, I felt a lot like energy here, but I didn't feel uncomfortable by feeling like a lot of heat there, like pressure.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like uncomfortable. I don't know, like what's the ideal frame?
I'll get into that later, okay? Yeah, other ideas that you guys saw?
You're like a palm tree, but like a sturdy palm tree. Like you can move. You know, a hurricane just fucking annihilates everything, but it's just like, it's subtle.
That's Bruce Lee says, be like water, my friends, from the Tao Te Ching. You guys ever read the Tao Te Ching? Yeah. You never read the Tao Te Ching? No. What the fuck are you doing? I thought you were Luke's friend. I trusted you. I trusted you that you're Luke's friend. Luke didn't get you to read Tao Te Ching? Really?
No. Yeah.
Ever?
No.
Never got you to read the Tao Te Ching?
No.
He never got you to read the Tao Te Ching?
Does he recommend it to me?
Hey, of course he does. Okay, so how long have you known Luke?
For about 7 months.
You've known Luke for 7 months, and not one time did he ever tell you to read the Tao Te Ching?
No.
So what kind of books do you like to read?
Esoteric books.
Like what kind?
Michael Tessarian.
Okay, so you're reading Michael Tessarian, but you've never read the Tao Te Ching?
No.
Never?
No.
Never?
No.
I don't believe you.
I've never heard of the name before.
What are your hobbies?
I read all the time, but I haven't read this book.
You're a reader?
Yeah.
Are you now?
I am. That's my
Do you
job.
does she look like a reader to you guys?
Yeah.
Is she a reader?
Yeah.
You're a reader?
I am. That's what I do.
Like a good reader?
Yeah.
You're a good reader. What does a good reader mean to you?
You take in the information and you actively do something with it.
Well, what do you do with it?
I implement it.
Guys, did you hear that? She implements the information.
Not just like positive thinking, but positive action steps with the information.
Not just positive thinking, but positive action steps. What do you guys think? Is she telling the truth?
Yes.
Is she scheming on us? Are you a schemer?
No.
Are you lying?
No.
You're not a liar?
I'm not.
You're a truth teller.
I am.
How do I know?
I'm a dragon. That's my Chinese zodiac.
Yeah, she just made that. What, she's a dragon? Okay, she's like, I'm not a liar, I'm a dragon. What are we, 5? We're 5 years old?
GG33 talks about it. You've heard of him, right?
Okay, that's her taking it, huh? We're taking it down to GG33, my boy. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're very smiley.
Yeah?
Were you always like that?
Not really.
What do you guys think?
Well, I'm also nervous. This is different for me. I've never done anything like this before.
What are you nervous about?
Feeling everybody's energy looking at me,
How does it feel?
it's daunting.
What can we do to support you better?
It's my own journey. I have to go through it myself.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the little teddy bear you got going on here. It's amazing. So, what are some things I'm demoing there? Let me show you a couple things, okay? First of all, this is huge. What I'm explaining to you is massive. One of the big reasons why you always have to have frame. Have you ever seen those videos where women have like a million different icks? You ever seen this? Yes. Okay, it's like there's jokes about it where it's like a girl will be like, I like this guy, and then he read a magazine, and then I lost all attraction because he read a magazine, right? And there'll be jokes like ick number 900, don't read magazine. Like another one's like, don't breathe, don't exist. The ick thing is real, but here's what we don't understand. You cannot track all the icks and beat all the icks. The only solution is to shut off the entire ick detecting mechanism and get the person into a self-qualifying mode rather than a qualifying you mode. What I just said to you will save your life, by the way. I really hope that sunk in. It's sad. Some of these things that I say, I get sad because I know that if you listen, it's gonna save your life. And if you don't listen, you're gonna lose your life. But, you know, I try my best to draw your attention to it. So let's review what I said. If there's a million icks, is it really that you need to learn? This ick thing is a meme. It's on TikTok. It's like, then he did this, ick. Then he did that, ick. Then he did this, ick. Then he breathed, ick, 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 ick. And I was like, ick, 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 ick. The whole key to that is that you can't beat the icks. It's like Neo. There is no spoon, Neo. You have to transcend the ick. The way that you transcend the ick is that you have to be the one who's qualifying them. So what I'm repeatedly saying, are you a good reader? Are you lying? Are you scheming? What do you think of this or that? What I'm doing is I'm driving your mind into a I have to keep up mode and a self-qualifying mode rather than allowing you to qualify me. Now, in truth, she's a pretty girl and I'm some dwarfish schmuck sitting at the front of a room, so she could very easily frame control me. But instead what happens is that I'm running frame. So what did it feel like for me to be kind of like inquisitive like that? How do you experience that?
It felt like an interview.
Yeah. So then if you take that and then you follow up by joking and being fun, because does it make you kind of want rapport a little bit?
Yeah.
So then once you want rapport, then if I'm super nice, that niceness has meaning behind it. Okay, so it was earned, it has meaning, it has value, and so on and so forth. Look, when you go to buy a AP watch, Patek watch, Rolex watch, they do the same thing. They make you basically suck their metaphorical dick to be allowed to pay $100,000 for a watch. And then what happens is that by the time they let you have the watch, you're like, oh, thank God, I get to give you $100,000 for a steel watch. And then you just give them $100,000. That's the whole system. I would urge you to study high-end watches and how they get you to pay these crazy amounts of money just for these watches. It's the same idea, okay? So the frame that I'm exerting there is I am the judge and you are the person being judged. So I've got to exert that frame properly. Now, women that are very, very intelligent are really good at exerting that frame when they go out to bars and clubs. If you talk to a woman and you say one wrong thing, what do? They walk off. They're out of there, right? So they're completely in that frame of, I'm the prize, I'm the one that has to be chased. You give me one wrong emotion, one wrong thing that didn't just like pump my state, peace out, bye-bye. So then as a result, it's like to meet a girl winds up becoming, it's almost like metaphorically like having a hose, try to like get a soccer ball to go back to your house or something like that. You're like, and then there's like other guys with hoses shooting at the fucking ball too. And you're like, no, shit, right? So that's what it feels like. And you have to just keep giving the right state. But again, the only way that you're likely to be successful at that is if you're the one being pursued. But we're so much in the frame of people outside of ourselves that we think we're not good enough. So that's what I'm telling you is that, you can get super jacked or, you can make money, but you're unlikely to get to the point where that's going to control frame for you. So instead, you've got to learn how to exert frame. Combine that with humor. That was a little bit dry what I was doing there, but combine that with humor. Very funny, outgoing, hilarious, having fun, building rapport with people, but getting people to chase your acceptance and approval. You've got to do it. That's called owning your power. If you fail to do it, you're in deep, deep, deep trouble. You've got to learn how to do this. Most of y'all are going into social interactions trying to gain rapport. Your only thought is, how do I gain rapport? And that's going to kill you. That's going to kill you every time. Trying to gain rapport, especially with somebody who's higher value than you superficially. Not likely to happen, okay? So then the question becomes, how do you get to the point that you have this frame, right? That's the larger question. And it's a number of different things. And we'll probably, let's see what time it is. We'll get into it tomorrow. Yeah, I'll wrap in a sec. We'll get into that more tomorrow. But the point being is this. If you've got a great life that you love and you value that life, if you value your time, okay, so you value your life, you value your time, you also think that what you're doing is cool, you think that your sense of humor is cool, you think that your energy and things of talking about are cool, and you think that to the point that you believe that it's so cool that other people will be lucky to be a part of that, they would be lucky to be a part of that. You believe that your status, your social skills, your lifestyle, and your vibe is so fucking cool that other people would be lucky to be a part of it. That's really what it comes down to, okay? And by the way, maybe some guy has more money than you, but your frame has to be, yeah, but look how boring his life is. What if you're the guy that makes all the money? Well, then you should be like, yeah, that guy's like some surfer, lame, I got all the money. So whatever it is, you've got to believe that your frame is the shit. Whatever your life is, you've got to believe it's amazing, right? When you guys are sitting here at the seminar, are you guys like, man, I want to learn the stuff that Owen's teaching? Because I believe it, and I believe that you're lucky to get to learn it. So if I have the frame that you're lucky to be able to learn this stuff, and that you should fucking listen, and I exert that frame in the room, then you're likely to listen. So I've got to believe that what I'm saying is amazing. You've got to believe that you're attractive. You've got to find a way to make that make sense in your mind. And if you fail to do it, you're fucked. And again, in a society, like if you want to have kids, you want to have a family, in a society where there's no social structures that's gonna have that girl, wanting to stay with you. In fact, there's most social structures pushing her out. And then the only thing that's gonna keep that relationship is what? What keeps it? Guys.
Outcome independence.
Or say the word organic attraction. That's all that's going to keep it there, okay? That's it, okay? That's what's going to hold it there. You can befriend their friends, their parents, and you have organic attraction. That's about it. So, right? And then if you actually enjoy monogamy, God forbid you don't want to have to, like, become a polygamist and have, like, 6 women in the house, because you can easily hold frame if you had 5 or 6 women there. It's not hard. But if you actually enjoy monogamy and you'd like to have one man, one woman, you'd like her to be attracted to you, you'd like to focus mostly on your girl and focus on your family and your kids, or not have to have 5 girls to hold frame, then, which frankly, that's where this is probably going to go. I mean, honestly, that's where it's going. I mean, that's what we're getting back to, right? Is like basically like 98% of guys have nothing, and then they just formalize that, like the couple guys that has it, like they'll just make formal families out of it. Like that's where this is going, by the way. Just so that that's the direction this is taking. So, but if you happen to be a little bit old-fashioned and you'd like to have one man, one woman, you're going to have to learn how to be really, really confident. You're going to have to believe that you have value. You're going to have to not look to her to validate you. You can to some extent, but remember that at any point she can pull it back. An example would be this. You ever seen guys, it might have even been you, where you have a girlfriend and you kind of had the frame. And then she would be a bit difficult, so you'd say, I'm going to break up with you. And then what would happen is she would chase you back, and she'd validate you. And then one day, about 2 years deep, she went, you know what, motherfucker? I'm not chasing you back. And then you went, no, wait, please, I was just kidding. And then you beg her back, and then she discards you like you're nothing. Who here's ever had that happen? Put your hands up. Come on, tell the truth. It's a very common theme. Why? Because early in the relationship, when she first met you, you're dating 5 or 10 or 20 women. You're having fun with your friends. You've got other passions. So early on, if she's annoying, you're like, yeah, I'm good. I've got 10 other girls still calling me that I'm ignoring. I've got my friends, I've got this, I've got that. So now you pull back, and she goes, no, no, no. Later, though, your roster pairs off. They all go get boyfriends, go get whatever they're doing, okay? Find some new guy to handle their needs. And your friends are maybe not as much there because maybe you didn't keep your friendships. Maybe you got a little bit distracted from work. And she kind of became your everything. And then at that point, 2-3 years in, she's now baited you in to where you need her. You do the whole, well, if you don't do that, I'm going to leave routine. And she goes, yeah, motherfucker, guess what? Guess who gets the last laugh? Me, because I got you to graduate. It took me 3 years, but you lost your guy friends. You lost your roster. You don't do parties anymore. I am most of your life now. And guess what? I know it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back. And if you think of validation, like the actual idea of approval and validation as like an energy, what will happen is she will create, it's almost like priming a pump. You ever prime a pump where you go like that, you have to prime the pump? And what's going to happen is it's like she'll prime a pump to drain you of your soul at that moment. Because what's going to happen is you've now, over 2 or 3 years, gradually been baby stepped into making her your whole world. And right at that point, she knows. Now, for the last 2 years, whenever you pull back, she chased you. You are in control, right? This is like a universal story. Happens to a ton of couples. Finally, now she's got you right where she wants you. She's softened you up, right? It's almost like one of those ice blocks where they put in like all little things and then they just go like that and the whole thing shatters. So like they've softened you up after a couple years. She pulls back and you go, yeah, whatever then. I'm not going to call you. But she doesn't call you for a couple days. I'm still not going to call. She doesn't call you for another couple days. Hey, babe, do you want to come talk about this? No, I don't. No, babe, look, it was just a spat. Please come talk about this. No, I'm good. Baby, please, come back. I'm good. Please, baby, please come back. I'm good. You start sending the flowers. You start begging. You fall apart. And the more that she is indifferent, here's what happens. You're now validating her frame. You're feeding her frame that she doesn't need you and that you're desperate and pathetic and that the whole time you were kind of a schmuck, but she finally had the epiphany just now. And so what happens is that then she drains you out, and then at the end of it, even though you were in control the whole time, at the end of it, you're just left shattered like a pathetic pool of patheticness, and she's out there on the yacht party having fun, dancing around, and all that validation that you had, you can see that she has it in her now. Like whatever self-validation you had, she has that now, and you have none of it. And then you walk around feeling numb for like a year after. You're just like, oh. And then you have to like gradually like remake friends. You have to learn how to approach new people while you feel like shit. And so now because you feel like totally like crap, most of your approaches don't even work. Right? So now you're getting shot down left or right. Have any of the girls ever had a boyfriend or had friends where this dynamic happened? Has this dynamic ever happened with your friends? How could you describe that to the crowd a little bit, like what you've seen with friends of yours and so on and so forth? How do you describe it?
Ask the question again, though.
So have you ever had it where maybe you had a friend, wasn't you, of course, but you had a friend, and she would chase the guy. Mm-hmm. But then after a couple of years, it turned out that's a paper tiger. That guy actually was the one who needed her the whole time. Yeah. And then she does the final pullback, and then he chases, which then turns the girl off, totally pumps her up while watching him collapse. Have you ever seen that dynamic?
Yeah, that happened with my friend.
Has it ever been you who did it?
Yeah.
How did it feel to watch that guy who you had to chase for like 2-3 years, and then finally at the end it turned out that he was nothing and that he needed you the whole time? How'd that feel?
Pretty good.
Did that happen to you too? Yeah? Okay, then I'll cross over here. Okay, so, yep. Oh no, you're not getting off the hook that easy. Yeah, so did that, were you ever the person that did that? It's okay, almost every girl is, so it doesn't matter.
It's happened before, yeah.
Yeah?
It feels good. It's validating.
Yeah, but did you ever have it where you were chasing him the whole time, and finally you put your foot down, you're like, you know what, I'm good, and then when you pulled back, he chased so hard, and you're like, are you meaning to tell me that for the past 2 years when I chased you, you would have actually been chasing me the whole time, and then it kind of kills it for you watching how pathetic he is?
That's true, yeah. You can't chase, because then it's like a predator-prey dynamic. You can't do that.
Yeah, and then did you ever go back to that guy when he begged?
No.
How pathetic did he look?
It's just you don't want to go back with something in the past. It's in the past for a reason.
Yeah. It's like he's so pathetic that she doesn't even want to call him pathetic. It's like, that's the past, and we're moving forward, right? So that's very nice of you, right? Now look how harmless she looks, right? And look how sweet she looks, right? And they are sweet, right? But how crushed were those guys that experienced that?
Not that crushed. Not that they tell me they're crushed.
Should we call them?
They're not gonna call them. No.
Okay. How crushed were your guys? Yeah. Right? But like, so if you look, right? Like, here's the point I'm trying to make here. I feel like I'm in this weird seminar venue. I feel like I'm like Phil Donahue or Jerry Springer. So anyway, so like if you look like how sweet she looks, she's very beautiful, she's sweet, right? So you never think that she could cosplay. It's not your fault, by the way, but how crushed are those guys?
Crushed.
Like how bad?
Like sending me money, flowers, crushed.
Yeah, traumatized?
Traumatized.
Absolutely traumatized?
Absolutely.
Look how sweet she looks, right? And she's laughing at them now. So just kidding. Yeah. So, but you see where I'm getting with this, right? Because it's like this validation dynamic. Because when you were single, you were being validated by many people. You had many hobbies. You're the fucking man. Then you were the dispenser of validation. You owned the frame. But then what happened was, you put it more and more on her because it just happens naturally. So she softened you up now. You need her, but you think you're so in control of the relationship. You're not. You're actually not. And then she pulls back a bit. You panic. She's gone. And that will happen in most marriages, by the way. It's going to happen in the majority of marriages because the guy doesn't have multiples. So understand that if you're going to be in a committed relationship where society's not holding frame for you, I mean, good luck. Good luck. And again, like even when I found out there's some problems in the videos that probably messed me up a bit, that's life. Like at some point, bad stuff happens that messes up your confidence. And then you lose frame a little bit. And the problem is if you exhibit that in front of your partner, here's what you're not understanding, okay? Human beings, the real strength is not so much physical. It's not even as much financial, though can be. A lot of it is mental. It is who is more mentally dominant and in control of the frame than the other person. That is actually who has the hierarchy among human beings. It's not just looks and money, although, that can impact it. But it's not as much as you think. In fact, a lot of these super rich guys are fucking nerds. And a lot of the guys you see that are jacked are just like driving a Honda Accord, going to GNC to get their creatine, going to 24-hour fitness, thinking if they get bigger, like they get a half-inch bigger arm, it's going to solve their problems. But they're like a little boy inside of this big, oversized body. That you see a lot of that. So it's, in my view, a lot of it is the mental strength. And that's who's the most attractive when you're out, is the people that have their mind right and know how to vibe, know how to have fun, know how to just add value, but never at the expense of their frame. Just know how to be the shit, know how to be pedestalized, and get people qualifying to them. But has great vibes and good social skills. That's generally who you want to be. But you've got to maintain that. Like, understand that when I say like your girlfriend's not your little buddy, she's your mate. It's very, very similar to on the mating ground, where you'll see animals where they're kind of headbutting. They're using their antlers and horns and whatnot. They're headbutting each other. Like moose do this, deer do this, antelope, all this stuff, right? Whatever animals do this, right? They beat the crap out of each other. And they do that in front of the female. And then all the females just go on that one guy that won. Humans don't do that by just fighting. In fact, in reality, if you were to look at, if you actually were in front of your girlfriend and a guy was hitting on your girlfriend, you start attacking him, as a woman, does that increase attraction or lower attraction for you if your boyfriend gets in a fight if a guy looked at you? Lowers it. You guys, get her. You should probably see this in person to make it real, because I know a lot of you guys don't think this. Does it increase or decrease attraction if another guy looks at you and the guy goes, "What the fuck? You looking at my girl?" and he starts fighting? What's it do? And why does it do that?
It feels icky.
Yeah, it generates the ick. Why is that? It generates the ick because it looks like he couldn't win the mental game. It looked like it was fucking with his frame, and so he resorted to fighting in order to hold frame. So it's not like that with humans. It's not about fighting, and it's not even about money in many ways, because like, well, why do you need all that money to have frame? Right? It's like, why did you need to be rich to have frame? Why do you need to be jacked to have frame? That's why, like, a lot of women, their favorite body on a guy is, just fit. Like, actually, funny enough, this was funny. What I call the Lexus is actually, in many ways, the best body for a guy to have. So hilariously, actually, the physique that they have, the Lexus wins, because it comes across like the guy just enjoys fitness, but he's not so insecure that he needs to take roids, and he's not so insecure that he just focuses on his body all day. But he still has like a nice physique. That's actually an ideal physique. Money for women, they don't need you to have tens of millions of dollars. They just want you to have enough money that you can enjoy your life. And by the way, that could even mean that you're broke, but maybe a surfer that lives on the beach in a fucking tent. But if you have fun in that tent and you invite her there and there's fucking campfires, to be honest, I don't smoke weed, but a lot of girls like to smoke weed. You know, right? I don't smoke weed at all. I hate it. But the point is, like, you know, you're smoking weed. You got a campfire with your friends out. You're playing the guitar. You're laughing. You're camping. You think you can't get a girlfriend doing that? Please, you're gonna crush it. Okay? Because you got a great group of friends, even though you're broke. You got a great group of friends. You know, you have fun. She gets to enter into that reality, enter that frame, and there's great vibes, and you have a mission and a direction of where you're going, right? When you guys are here at this event here, or maybe watching a video at home, you're just entertaining this frame. You're like, you're here, you're part of this reality, you're participating in it, seeing if it can help you, and so on and so forth. That's what women are doing too. You can't be trying to get into her frame. She wants to join into your reality. So you always want to be creating your own personal little, like your own little kingdom, both in your own mind, but also even outside of yourself. Cool friends you can introduce her to, fun things that you like to do. Invite her out to something cool. Invite her out to something that you like to do. Invite her out to something that fills your cup. Something other than just her filling your cup is massive, okay? And that continues in the relationship itself. But then if you make her the sole focus, then what happens is that she becomes the kingdom, and therefore she leaves to join another kingdom because you allowed your kingdom to fall apart. And again, in the interaction, notice that in the frame control exercise that I did, it was very, very, very subtle. You guys catching this? Making sense? Okay, very, very, very subtle. So I didn't do it over the top because in a long-term relationship, you're not like, hey, no, what? Like you could do a little bit of that. You could sprinkle it in, but that's not how a relationship is. It's more, you're just a little more centered. You're the person with the plan. You're gonna do some cool stuff. You feel happy. You enjoy your jokes. You're not self-qualifying. The phone is not there for you to call and get reassurance from her. The phone is there for her to call and get reassurance from you. Okay? A lot of guys destroy relationships over the phone. I've done it myself. Killed relationships over the phone. You know, hey, where's my girl at? I miss her. You start over-calling, over-communicating, finish. And the same girl that was your best friend, gone out the door because she's out of frame now, right? That friendship that you have has no equity. Do you understand that? The friendship that you have, because it only has equity within frame. As soon as she exits frame, the friendship means nothing. The money that you've spent, yes, it's nice when she's within frame, but as soon as she exits frame, she doesn't care that you spent money on her. It means nothing. She may even use it against you to attack you in court in a divorce, you know, or say it was a way to control as opposed to a gift. And frankly, it kind of looks like that. Why couldn't you just maintain frame without having to pay me? That's weird. Why couldn't you just be cool? So realize that, okay? So the mating dance is actually one of you being grounded, centered, self-amused, not needing anything, holding your frame, holding your validation. And if you're holding validation, then you're the dispenser of validation. They are the chasers of validation, which generates and maintains attraction. But if you're chasing their validation, you lose polarity very, very, very quick. So you as a man, you're getting your validation and frame from God, from your environment, from your passions, from your purpose, from your hobbies, from your friends, from day-to-day life, nature and all that. She's getting it from you though. And she's actually enjoying those other things with you as the conduit to that. So she's enjoying being at the national park with you, seeing it through your eyes, right? If I took you guys right now to say the Florida Keys and I was like a travel host, I'm like, we're gonna go here, here's the bridge, we're gonna go do this. I'm joking around. You guys are kind of going with my vibe, you're going with my lead. That's what your relationships are like. But if you stop being a leader and you stop looking for leadership outside yourself, you stop being the dispenser of validation and you start being the chaser of validation, the polarity ends, and then poof, relationship fissures and out. So organic attraction, if you want to have a family and kids, is absolutely vital. And by the way, anybody can lose it. Tom Brady lost it. Anybody can lose it. Okay, Dr. Dre lost it. Anybody can lose it. You got money like Bill Gates, she's trashing him in the media. It didn't stop anything. The money didn't stop anything. Being good-looking quarterback didn't stop anything. None of it stops anything. Because the only thing holding that relationship together is only organic attraction. That's it. Which is, again, very, very hard to maintain in monogamy. It can be done, but it takes inner work. And the way that you're going to learn how to do it is this. Go out, build crazy amounts of social skills. All the stuff that we teach you, build it. Make it a priority. Get really, really, really good at meeting new people. Get really, really, really good social skills. Then get in a relationship. And then you'll probably overdo it. Probably this speech will even make you paranoid. You'll be, oh, I gotta maintain frame. It's gonna like hurt you. And you're gonna be mad at me for even giving you the speech because you're gonna overdo it, right? You know, because you're gonna overthink it. And then you're gonna fuck it up, or you'd fuck it up either way. Then you'd find some other way to fuck it up. So then what's gonna happen is this. You're gonna see it to where you lose a relationship, right? Then you go back to the drawing board and you see where you fucked up. Likewise, when you're meeting people out, you'll have an interaction going for several hours. Then you'll fuck it up and you can reflect on it. You learn from mentors, you learn from teachers, you learn from your peers, you learn from experience, right? Then over time, you get better at meeting people out and you get better at maintaining relationships. And then you'll fuck them up. That's fine. You're allowed to fuck up your relationships. Start doing that in your early 20s. So all these guys that are telling you, these mentors that are telling you, oh, wait until you're like 35 to get married. Come on, bro. You're thinking back in like the church days, bro. The church ain't gonna hold frame for you anymore, bro. So that's not gonna function. That's not how society works anymore. You've got to understand what real attraction is, what it means to actually be attractive, and how to generate organic attraction. So you go and do that, and how do you get an ROI? Build social media, get better at getting a promotion at work because you know frame, because you understand how to talk and talk. Again, social media is a massive bubble. You should all be on it. You should all be making money off it. You should become a better communicator. You should learn how to be confident. You should learn how to be self-amused. Learn how to talk and talk. Learn how to hold frame. All skills where you're getting an ROI. You're getting an ROI while you're learning the same skills that will help you to hold organic attraction later in life. And what's going to happen, especially for the men in here, what's going to happen if you don't learn this for your children? Your children are going to have to watch their parents have that fissure. So don't wait to learn this stuff. You've got to get it down early. Get it down early and make money off of it. I understand this principle of like, you know, get jacked and get rich before you get a partner. I get the idea, I get the concept behind it, but in practical reality, it's not going to function for you. But just try to draw your awareness because, look, even just the basic awareness that you have here, you're already going to start practicing it as soon as you go out, and you're going to start to notice it, and it's going to make a huge, huge, huge difference. Don't become, by the way, a frame control addict. A lot of people get addicted to controlling the frame to get a constant supply of validation. Instead, learn how to maintain frame through God. Learn how to maintain through being tapped in. Learn how to maintain frame through meditation. That's what's going to really, really hold it there for you, okay? Yep, loud and proud.
Yeah, so
loud.
I have a couple of friends who they say that basically this game of the mating dance, controlling frame, having temptation frame, this thing that you're talking about right now, they say that it's viewed as manipulation and that basically...
That's why, rather than being manipulative, was I at all manipulative when I was up front? If anything, they're trying to manipulate me. Right. That's really the truth. It's not about controlling someone else. It's about having self-control, which tends to result in other people wanting to manipulate you. When I was up front, well, I think you missed that part, but when I was up front, everyone's trying to manipulate me to get the frame. I'm just chilling. So that's the main thing. It's like there's active frame control and passive frame control. You can do a little bit of active frame control, but I think the best is passive frame control.
So when you talk about, say, implicit attraction and not explicitly saying or being upfront about, I just want to be casual, blah, 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 would you say to someone like that who agrees that it's not manipulative, how would you say to them that?
I think we're going down a whole new rabbit hole, and it's getting late, but the point is that we can come back to it. Cool. Yeah, and then other quick questions on this topic? How do you feel as a woman with what you learned today?
I think it's actually really true. I mean, I'm just getting out of a 8-year relationship because of kind of exactly what you were talking about. It was because he lost frame. Like, it totally made sense. Like, when that happens, like, it does.
And when you broke up, were your friends like, you've got to go back to him?
No.
Did Instagram be like, you've got to go back to him?
No, not at all.
Was there? I'm guessing there was no guys at all that wanted to talk to you, right? At the end of it, there was no guys waiting to talk to you at all. You're just stuck with no options, right?
No options at all.
No options at all. Uh-huh. You've been enjoying your life since you guys broke up?
Yeah.
You guys see what I'm getting at here? Yeah.
Well, it's like a new start, so.
Look at that. You guys see that? Look at her happiness, okay? She goes, it's like a new start. You guys see that? You're fucked. Do you understand? You're fucked. Okay?
No, but it's true. Like, yeah, when you lose your frame, when you lose your confidence, it does reflect in your relationship, for sure.
Yeah.
With people.
Yeah. Well, congrats on the new start. I'm appreciative. That's good. Give her a hand for the new start, guys. Yeah. So, yeah, she's got a new start. And that's the lesson, is that when your girl leaves you, Instagram's gonna congratulate her. Her friends are gonna congratulate her. Everyone, there's gonna be a lineup of guys. And by the way, the difference is those guys, see, you gradually went through the which is your fault. She didn't do it to you. It's your fault. But the self-created emasculation journey, right? You've been through your emasculation journey. All the little fights, all the little dynamic slippages, all this stuff, and also making her your world. And then what happens is that you're a shell of who you used to be. Other men who are actively single, who have not done this self-generated emasculation exercise, even though you might be 100 and they're like a 20, when you're at your full power and they're at their full power, by the end of that relationship, you're at a 5 and they're at a 20. So they're gonna seem 4x better than you. That is why really powerful men tend to have their, I don't wanna use the word revenge, it's not revenge, but it's like, they kind of have their moment where they win the breakup because they recognize their mistake, they go back to being single, and what winds up happening is, man, like, you go back in your full power and your ex sees it, man, it fucks them up. Like, it fucks them up. They're like, this was the guy that I broke up with. I could tell you stories of like friends of mine that had bounce backs that just bounced back so hard, their exes couldn't believe it. It's unbelievable. So you can do that. But the thing is that you can't, it's not even her fault. Like, you can't blame the girl. You self-emasculated, right? You self-emasculated. You know, she told you, just love me and give me all the attention. You're like, is that okay? Can I do that? Yes. Okay. Boom, you're fucked. So you kind of did that to yourself. But the thing is, you can learn from it. You can't even blame her. You can learn from it. And what will happen is it will drive so much pain. You will get so much better that by the time that you're in midlife, you can attract anybody. Because you've had to bounce back so many times, and you've actually gone through the cruel tutelage of learning what happens when you seek validation outside yourself. So even though it hurts at the time, don't ever blame the girl. It's not her fault. Look, she's just being a little cute little kitten, just saying, hey, you know, I love you, right? But you're the one that took the bait. And then as a result of it, you learn, and man, you come back real strong. And by the way, whatever joy she could have given you, when you learn to give that to yourself, and then just to emanate that like the sun, it's honestly a very, very beautiful experience. And it's something that you never, it's so beautiful that you realize that all those breakups were actually there to help you. But here's the thing. The problem is that while that process is beautiful, you may want to have kids while you're still young and you don't have DNA fragmentation in your fucking sperm. So the problem is, yes, you can learn. And look, I was lucky I had kids young with a woman that was cool to let me kind of do my thing and all that. But for most of us, it's very, very, very tough. And so I've got 3 kids. So I've been learning and learning and learning every year and getting better every year. But for you guys, you know, you're getting older. You start getting in your 40s, your DNA, like, even though men can have kids until later in life than women, the quality of your sperm still keeps going down. So the truth is, you probably want to have your first kids by 30. That's what a lot of y'all don't realize. So, you know, I had my first kid at 29. So you guys want to be, you got to kind of expedite the process. Like, and again, because you don't have society holding your relationship for you, you have to be very, very good with organic attraction. You just don't have a choice. In another video, I referred to what's called the Chesterton's fence. The Chesterton fence is an analogy by G.K. Chesterton. Say you had a farm. I'm kind of ad-libbing it here, but say you had a farm and there was a fence, right? And then you go to the back of the farm. You're like, what's this dumbass fence doing here? So you kick it over. You didn't know what would happen, but next thing you know, like, you know, wolves are coming in eating your cattle. There's floods, all because you took down some fence that seemed dumb. All these old conventions that we had surrounding marriage, monogamy, the church, all this stuff, we didn't really understand what it was doing. We didn't understand how it was helping us. It was helping to hold frame, but now there's nothing helping you to hold frame. So if you want a traditional relationship, to be honest with you, like, basically your options are either A, to just ball out and have like 10 girlfriends and you'll hold frame very easily, or B is to hold frame with one girl, but then you've got to become a master with organic attraction because you don't have that validation coming in from all angles. But you're not going to have a situation where it's easy the way it would have been back in the day. Okay. You also have to remember too that women, like, one of the biggest parts of what in effect was the patriarchy was that they would kind of have to pair up with mediocre men. Right? Instead of getting paid a lot of money and not having to pair up with the mediocre men and having the guy that they actually want just come over 1 or 2 days a week or go to his house. They prefer it. So you got to understand that, like, they're kind of living their best life right now. So just realize that too. Okay. So again, the solution is always organic attraction. Any other questions? Yep. Loud and proud.
This is from my best friend from Chile.
Yeah.
The one that thinks that you're a Buddha. He's seen all your videos. Yeah. Can I record the response?
Yeah.
Can you play, like, can I record the response?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, perfect. This is for him.
Make it quick.
His name is Agustin.
No. Quick or nothing.
Oh, I can't record it.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah. Just ask the question.
Can you apply the frame, in a pre-established lifelong group where you are already seen as a beta and they will reject you, or they reject you?
What? You know what's funny? I've never met a guy that comes across smarter than almost everything you say. I have no idea what you're talking about. Remember earlier, you had that other one that was like the receiver did. I'm like, God, that sounds smart.
This is from him.
What did this man say?
Can you apply all of it?
You know, there's this guy that I love. It's called Jack Cruz. You guys ever seen Jack Cruz? He's like this mega genius, and I watch him like, God, this guy's smart. What the fuck did he just say for the past hour? I don't know, but he's really smart sounding. Yeah, that's how I feel when I talk to you. But I think it's kind of cool. Other quick questions? Yep.
Jesse says something really interesting.
Louder.
That the universe is indifferent. That's essentially the ultimate masculine. An indifferent being that also provides regardless of any situation. So that's what you want to be as the man.
Yeah, I think what he said, I'll say what I like about what he said, and then I'll even leave with the conclusion for the talk. So what I would say is this. The recognition of the indifferent universe, as opposed to looking for a mother figure to baby you, is one of the single most powerful things that will make you more attractive. That said, let me tell you something, okay? I have seen, ever since I have made my focus God and not just my own selfish desires and contribution, and I'm not saying I'm not selfish desires, so don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is, because I've tried to shift that to the extent that I can, I have watched as 1 in a million coincidence things that could never happen. Like, I'll be like, I need to meet this guy. And it's like, shows up 2 seconds later. Like weird stuff that I don't even like talking about. Happened again the other day. I mean, it happens literally happens to me all the time. It's amazing how when you really want to make the world better, the universe will come in to support you in that process, okay? But by the way, it's not for your narcissistic vanity. It's not for you to look good. It's not for your comfort. It's more like it gives you the painful experiences that you could need as well as good ones. It just supports your growth for pain and for pleasure. A little bit of both, you know? It'll kind of give you like that beautiful relationship just while you need it. Then it will take it away. Then it will give you money right when you need it. Then it will take it away. And you're just being shaped. It's a beautiful, beautiful experience. And that's actually ultimately what I've experienced as far as my own relationships, is that the relationships, like women kind of do have this beautiful tendency to know when being with you would serve you. And they kind of feel like when you've lost your core and they know when to leave. And they actually help you in this process. But the challenge is that I honestly think that for a lot of guys, it's going to take them until they're 40 or 50 to kind of master that. And you don't have that much time. So, you know, and back in the day, society would support that so that you could have kids younger. It doesn't really support it anymore. So as a result, you've got to accelerate your learning curve, okay? In order to be able to have a beautiful family. How many of you guys want to have a family? Put your hands up. Okay, well, that's really cool to hear. Yeah. So you got to accelerate that. You got to accelerate that, okay? So you've got to figure this stuff out faster and accelerate it. And I wish the best for all of you in having a beautiful family. I have 3 kids, the best thing I've ever done. I promise you it's better than any casual sex or dating or any of that stuff. It's amazing. And I've been lucky. My situation's panned out beautifully, but not everybody's does. And that's what I'm trying to help you to learn here, okay? So I'm going to do a couple exercises after this, but I hope that you guys enjoyed this talk. Yeah. I just let it rip, and I'm going to go much deeper on frame in the future. You guys have a fun time? Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.